Okay, so if you're coming over from watching the first one just on the parameters of how to buy and sell, or to buy anyway, I guess is all I really focus on. The other one. This one's going to get more into basically economy with it. Because, okay, PlayStation cards cost money, and I'm too cheap to spend money on those things, so I had to look another way. Also, my record of 78, 196, and 35 is not indicative of how well I can earn pucks in this game. That just shows how crappy my game skill is. I like, when it comes to buying and selling, the basic concept is to buy low, sell high. There's other consumables and stuff like that you can work with. I see people doing duration a lot, and even with the trading ones. But I find that the change team one is the best one to work with. The things that I look for, I basically, for most of the change team consumable, I have a certain price range that I like to buy at and sell at. I look to try to make a profit between 200 and 500 pucks with every transaction that I'm doing here, like between the buy and the sell. Most of the consumables I find right now, and this fluctuates, like when they started flooding the market with all those Halloween packs, all of a sudden a lot of people that were just dumping them off ended up dropping the price, which meant I got to buy a bunch of them at a lower price. Like I was buying a lot of those change team ones at about 150 to 200 pucks, whereas right now it seems to be a challenge at finding them under 400. But there are some things here that with the parameters that really helps. Now, as we're doing this video, this doesn't mean I'm going to find something as I'm doing it, but I might, and that would be a bonus to the video to show how good. Okay, the first thing I usually do when I'm looking to buy something is I go down to the buy now maximum. I'm on change team in the under training, and I look for, and I hit buy now under 400. There's nothing available. Okay, we go up a few hundred, and I'll scan through looking for whatever I can find. And there was nothing really good there. Okay, like if I was to buy now over 400, I would be looking at the teams like Montreal, Toronto, New York Rangers, LA, Pittsburgh, and to a lesser extent Chicago and Philadelphia. Even though all of the consumables do the same, if I take my team, even if my favorite team is Montreal, I may not want to sit there looking at all my players with Carolina Hurricanes cards. But the general price, it seems that the Montreal ones go for, by the people that are able to kind of help set the price, seems to be over 2,000 pucks, whereas the Carolina ones will go for, you can get them like 400 to 600, like fairly easily. Okay, so basically that's the first thing I usually do. The second thing I do, and I wish this wouldn't keep resetting the type, but it does, and I go to maximum price, and because right now, although, like I said, it's getting hard to find them at 400. It used to be I could set it at 400, and I'd come up with about 30 of them that would be under that price, and I'd be able to buy them at around 250, it would seem. Now, when I'm checking this out, because over the last couple of days I've noticed it going up, but you see that I'm finding some that are, this one's at 50, but of course there's like 48 minutes that we're waiting for. So I will put a bid in it, but I'm going to put like 350, we'll say, for that one. And so on, 300 for there, 49 minutes, and I'm just basically going on. And like right now, the reason why I'm putting at least 300 on these has to do with a couple things. One, for someone that started out just bidding, that are flipping through it and seeing that the buy minimum will there, well, this is 2 hours, I don't like bidding that far ahead. This one will say the buy starting price is 100. If you see 300, sometimes people think that, well, obviously you're going to put the minimum because you want to get the lowest price, but you have people also thinking that if they see another price, there might be more than one person bidding, I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm not saying everybody does that, but that is one of the kind of psychology things that go along with it. Okay, so I put in a bid for a couple of those, and I want to buy them. So what I'm going to show you now is what I'm going to show you now is under the selling part. So I go to my trade pile, and I've sold the New York Islanders there for 750. Like right now, Karkner, I got that in a pack. I already had one, so I just dumped him off. The New York Rangers, 1,500. The way I set the price on them is generally everyone except for Montreal, Toronto, New York Rangers, LA, Chicago, Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia. Generally what I've been doing is, in the last 2 days, is my current price is $750, my buy now is $1,050. If I was doing this last week, I was actually more of a 600 to 600 to start, 900. The reason why I set the current and buy now really close on these is just the whole theory of it, because somebody's willing to pay $750. If somebody decides that they want it more, they might not want to get into bidding war over the sake of like $300 if they're actually looking to put it on their team. So they would just go to the buy now. So I find I usually get about half my sales are being listed as the buy now. So I'm getting $750 for this. I could have gotten $1,050. So the average I'm getting is $900 usually, because they go halfway with these ones. Basically, I'm looking as a goal of trying to earn, like I said, or I may have said, like in the 200 to 400 pucks per transaction. Usually, like in a day, I'm probably flipping. I'm guessing, like, what did I do yesterday? Like, because I bought Carlson for about 40,000, and I think that took me 2 days to get that many pucks. So I'm flipping decently regularly, like probably about 6 or 7 times a day of my cards, like going through, usually having 30 going at a time. Okay, now knowing the value of the cards. For some reason, like I said, all these consumables do the same. So whether I stick my team full of New York Islanders or New York Rangers, they do the same for your team, no matter what team you have. So really, people should just be buying the cheaper one. But if you're a Rangers fan, you may not want to have Islanders on it. So I understand that part of it. And really, once you've been playing this a whole bunch, you do get extra pucks sitting around that you can just spend them on whatever you want anyway. I'm an Ottawa Senators fan. When my first team, actually, I had loaded it up with, I think they were Florida Panthers, because I seemed to be able to get those when the going price seemed to be about 700. I was getting those at about 300, and made my team a bit better. And then I put the Ottawa ones on it once I started getting ahead. When it comes to knowing the values of the players, like I said, the Montreal, Toronto, New York Rangers, Chicago, LA, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia seem to get more than the others. So basically, I've got $750 right now to $1,050. And with the Montreal and Toronto, you seem to be able to have a minimum of around the 2,000 range, and with a buy now of about 3,000. All of this though, and I usually do the Rangers, right now I'm doing 1,500, 2,200 for the other ones. Now the problem is, don't take that, like if you're watching this video and it's closer to Christmas, there's a time of year factor with these things. Because I'm assuming, just like the Halloween one, around Christmas you're going to have a combination of people buying packs, because I imagine they're going to have some kind of Christmas bonus pack. Plus you're going to have a whole bunch of people getting the game for Christmas who don't understand the price. So the prices on these things are going to drop. Okay, so I've popped into my watch list because I need to send some more some more of these consumables over to my trade pile so I can sell them. Now, as you can see, like it says, the current price I've been getting, like that Ottawa one was 400. I got Phoenix for 200, St. Louis for 150. Like it's changed, like, but roughly, I'm generally not spending over 400 unless it happens to be like Montreal or something like that. Like even Edmonton, you seem to be able to get more for some reason. I don't know why people have more value in some of them. But anyway, let's send over a couple. I'm just going to send one since this is a video anyway. I don't want to waste time on stupid stuff if I can help it. While I'm doing this, there's another thing to watch for is if I have, we'll say I think I can get a really good sale, or I can sell, we'll say the Ottawa Senators one. If I believe that my starting price should be at $750 and my buy now price is at $1,050, and I'm believing that I should be able to get enough of those where people are buying now type thing, and I end up putting up, like, we'll say like 10 Ottawa Senators ones up there, I'm less likely that I'm going to be able to sell all of them at my buy now price, because if one person decides to go with the minimum and the next person decides that they're not going to outbid that one, they're going to go to the next one that's at the minimum, and then the next one. So the more that you put of one team out there, the less of a chance you're going to get your buy now. So just for an example, we're going to set the price here. I'm doing $7.50 right now. I don't know if this is going to hold. I've been finding a lot of people have been more aggressive at buying the trade team ones lately, and I don't know if that's going to continue or it's not. I'm assuming if people actually do watch this video and start doing it, then that means that the prices and all of this are going to go up because more people are doing the same thing. Which I don't have a problem with, because like I said, I've got a bunch that I bought at a lower price, and I'll follow the price up and still charge a few extra hundred above it. Whatever the market will allow for that sort of thing. Okay, I'm heading back into the search for item pile because I want to talk about the pricing on cards. If you're not sure how much the price is for any of the consumables, like I said, I'm still going to work with the change team one, but this works with anyone. If you're not sure and you're going to list the price on something, find out how much it should go for. If, as you search up here, you'll notice that, like, Washington will say they're asking $900, buy now $1,300. That seems to be very reasonable for if you're trying to make money off it. You can get, if you keep looking, I'm sure you can find Washington for less, but if you're trying to sell to make a profit, that's an excellent price for Washington. Washington also, I didn't mention them, but they are one that for some reason you can get more. As you see with Pittsburgh, they're asking $1,800 with a buy now of $2,000. They're going with the theory that if you're willing to spend $1,800 on it, then to make sure that nobody scams out and gets it from you, because if you're a diehard and you're looking for that one, you'll spend the $2,000. So, see, like I said, there's Washington. They're going for $500. Now, if you're able to sell it for $900, like as a starting price, which nobody was able to there, but you can because I've done it, then buying it at $500 will give you a profit of at least $400. And whereas they got the buy now at $1,300, you might even make a profit of $800 on that. So that is, like, that's basically the scope of it. And this works for all of the consumables. We'll go over duration. There's another one that I think is good to watch for too. The speed of selling. Okay, I understand some people when they're like, you'll see, let's go to the LA, or the Pittsburgh one's a good example. Like, they're looking for $1,800, whereas some of the other ones we're looking at like the $800 to $1,000 range, $750 to like around the range that I'm selling at. Like, the reason why you sometimes, like, even though you know that you can get that price there for Pittsburgh, that $1,800, I see it go all the time, especially when it comes to like Montreal or Toronto. So you might think that you can bid up higher if you're trying to do that. So you're fighting with somebody, you're getting it at $1,500, we'll say. You're going to get that profit of between $300 and actually you can even sell them for, I think, around $2,200, decently easy too. But that is decently easy. Depends on whether somebody out there is buying it because they want to put it on their team or whether they want to buy it to resell. If it's somebody looking to resell, they're not buying it at $2,200 because they're not going to get that much more of a profit. So spending that $1,500 on it to have a chance at making $2,200, you might be sitting around there with it for like 2 or 3 days waiting for it to sell. To me, that's not enough of a profit in that 3 days, because in that 3 days you might have been able to sell 5 Carolina Hurricanes and make a profit of about 400 pucks on each one, and therefore because they're cheaper, they go faster. If you're able to make a profit of we'll say like 400 5 times in the time it takes you to make a 500 profit on the Pittsburgh one, then you're missing out on about 1,500 pucks. So that's why you watch for that. Like the one, like if you happen to be able to go and get Pittsburgh, we'll say for 600 or something like that, that's a good time to check it. Like that's why I say I'll bid higher on some of those more than I would bid for, we'll say, like the Ducks or something else, which are all good teams, of course, but it's just not what I would do. So that's what goes. That's very important when it comes to knowing the price, especially when you're looking for resale, because like the speed at which you're turning these things around does come into play. Okay, so basically, I think that's the gist of it. So just to kind of quickly recap, you're looking at buying low, selling high, of course, knowing the price. Oh, I said I was going to go duration. We'll do that in a minute too. But like knowing what the price is, not just putting it out there and just waiting for it. Like I got lucky the first time I had gotten a consumable like this. It was this is what got my attention. I put a Montreal change team out there, listed it at 50 pucks, and ended up getting it sold for 5,300, which I was like, wait now, I've got to learn about this, and that's where I started kind of applying regular economic scenarios to these cards and started understanding things. You're trying to flip these things faster. Going with the putting it in for 12 hours and hoping for sale means that's if you're able to have gone in and checked it 3 or 4 times in that time, you might have sold it, because most people will only go back so far. I find, like when it comes to the bidding, like going back to the hour, you'll get people that'll go back before that, but not as many. Most people are more in the first couple pages, like looking at what they can get and going like, oh, I better grab that, like, and not realizing that if they wait another 10 minutes, they can maybe get a buy now that's even cheaper than what the starting value on something like this is. So when you're selling, it's much better, I find, with these things. You can sell these things within an hour. Like, so if I have 30 up and I'm waiting an hour, I'm probably going to sell 5. Well, actually, I should say I'll generally sell between 4 and 8. I don't know what went on yesterday. I sold 18 in an hour, which scared me, thinking that the price had gone up and I didn't recognize that. But anyway, like it's about the speed of sale, because if you can make at a faster rate, then it's better to make lower per card, but make more in the long run, because you're turning the profit faster each hour, because you're putting your hourly wage up as opposed to your per card wage. Anyway, one quick thing there about duration that we're going to go out on. If you notice, if the prices on these of course make your training consumables last more than one game. Duration of 10. The pricings on these ones, generally I find this is the average. It seems that people are selling the 10s. The 15s seem to go, this seems to be on the lower buy now for the people that are doing it. The higher end, I've seen as such as 15,000. I don't know who's paying 15,000 for this. It was probably somebody just trying to see if they can get that. Because we all make mistakes if we don't know the price. But generally it seems to be between like the 4,500 and like 6,000 for the buy now prices on the durations. For that are 15, like 300, or for 3 games, 500 seems to be what people are asking. The 5s are around 1,000, and like I said, the 10 there is around that, like I don't know, 2,500 to 3,500 range. You'll get people above and below, but that's what it is. But when it comes to these ones, I find this is one also that's very interesting, that people don't always recognize the value of it. And I'll go through, and like I said, when I started this video and showing with the change team, I might not find anything, but I will generally go through this one too, because I have gotten a buy now of 250 for a 15 duration consumable, which is sweet. And no, it's not, like, even if you get the 5 game duration for 500, I think is a pretty good deal on this. And like I said before, when it comes to the price on it, that seems to be what the price is now going for these things. It's going to fluctuate, it's going to change, and if you happen to have bought a whole bunch of, going on what I'm saying, if you happen to buy a whole bunch of change team things on this, like let's say a week before Christmas at 400, and then a week after Christmas you're having a hard time selling them for 400, then don't worry about the selling them. I would actually hold on to those and just keep buying them as cheaply, because just like we had with the Halloween one, where the price seemed to drop by where it seemed to be hard to sell them at even 600 as a buy now, the price came back up, and the price will go back up once people kind of eat through and have gained that same learning curve that I had to do at the start of the year to figure these things out. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this saves people money, so that they're not having to buy as many PSN cards, like because not, especially being the demographic for this is a bit younger. I'm sure that someone that's an adult like me can go out there and buy like a few dozen of those PlayStation Network cards if they wanted to do it that way. Although I think that's foolish, especially if there's a way that you can do this in between games. Just kind of flip through, check through, set this up, and then go play your next game. Like you're taking the time to get the odd pack anyway, like spending your pucks to get things like your contracts and your attributes and all that stuff. If you're going to be doing that anyway, you might as well try to make a profit where you can. Anyway, I hope this helped, and if I have anything else to add to these things, I will. If anybody has any other suggestions, I would love to hear it, like especially if it's a video response, or comments are great, but video responses are better, because I learn more, and they stay there. I find them easier to kind of find and learn from them than I do just somebody leaving a comment. But anyway, thank you very much, and have a good day. One more thing I wanted to add. Under the watch list, by the way, when you bid on something, if you buy now, you have to transfer it into either your collection or whatever. If you're bidding and you win the bid, you do not have to transfer these things. The reason why I point this out is because under the trading, it says that like you can only have 30 when you're trading at a time. But leaving things in the watch list gives you a vast amount of, like I've had as many as I think 79 that I had saved up when the price was really low, so I was able to kind of have a chance at selling things at a higher price. When you buy something, you don't have to transfer it into one of those, so don't worry about it. Just if you're doing it, if you're buying them to resell them, you can leave them in this section here until you get a chance to, like, free space in your trade pile there to switch them over. Just wanted to add that. Thank you.